Hi everyone, if anybody's there, that is, and they're not out enjoying themselves, and because it's holiday season or wherever you are, that is. But anyway, I've been looking at things today, and we've been linked with so many players, so many fans guessing who they should bring in, especially a number six. Now, there's one comment where it said, this is Slot actually. He said, I've got a good squad here. Don't need anybody. That's just what he was more or less saying. And then we're getting that Ornstein fella saying Liverpool have identified or they need a number six. So, what's your take? What is your take on it? I know we need a number six. I do know that. And we're desperate for one. So, what's your take? Do you think that we should get one? I'd go for Edison myself. That's me. That's me. Because I think he's a cracking player. And he was great against us. Stay, you never walk alone. Aye, yes. Let's go, champ. Yes, let's go. Steve Evans. Even if Frank not having the Slot statement about transfers becoming glaringly obvious, the owners don't want to spend. That's been the problem all the time. And no matter what I say, Steve, about Klopp was restricted in everything he did. And I mean, this, the reins were on him. They were always pulling him in, always. And told, if you want someone, uh, you'll have to sell. And this is what Klopp was doing. Imagine what he could have done if he were to give it the hand. Look, don't get rid of your players. Here's some cash. Go and buy whoever you want. But some people don't believe that. Some people don't believe it. And that's shocking, that. We're all Reds. We all want the best for our club. And this is why we desperately need a number six. Because I think Endo, I was watching his body language, against Man United. When, at the end, and he just didn't seem bothered. It seems as though he's, just gave up. He was on his way. That was me, that was my opinion when I was watching his body language. And as Steve never says, Ornstein, doing clickbait again. That's what it is. That's what it is, Steve. Evening Frank says Captain Sal. Evening Cap. Evening. Merry Darrell. Frankie Darrell. And Steve says, even Stevie Wonder can see we have needed a number six since Firmino was sold. These lazy journalists are saying the obvious. Yeah. But you're getting some podders believing everything. And, they're coming out, oh, yeah, well, this fella will be great, and this fella will be great, and this fella will be great. We all know who'd be great. But it's deep. I don't know. I just don't know. I'll get to you, Steve. Um, Good evening, Frank. Hope you're okay and you've had a good day. I was having a good day until I was brushing my teeth and, I cut my tongue. And it's all healed up, and it's great because it was terrible last night. Terrible yesterday. The blood comes spurting out. And I was brushing my teeth, and I always brush my tongue as well. This morning I have electric brush, and I hit it. It was terrible, the pain again. Pain. So don't bite your tongue. Don't bite your tongue. You have watched the John Achterberg interview? No, I haven't watched it. Steve. Is Fozy coming on your show today? Sent him out at, don't forget he went to America, whether he's still there, so I don't know. He's good, Fozy. I like Fozy, whatever his name is. I like. Another 12:30 kickoff announced. The telly companies can fuck off as well. One of the worst grounds to get to Palace away. We had the most 12:30 kickoffs last season. Here comes the same old again. Well, we all expected that, to be honest, Steve. We really did. There's not even any compromising anymore. They just compromise Liverpool and do what they want with us. You know that. I know that. And Captain Sal says, FSG, get your wallets. Outlander back at slot. I don't think they will, to be honest. I don't think they will. And Daryl says, there's talk of Carvalho and Neto swap deal. That's what I mean. There's all talk, but there's no concrete stuff. Unfortunately. None. There's none. Daryl says, Stevie, Fozy said next week he is in Soccerville. Like a Soccerville is. The America, won't it? Soccerville. The Anfield Raw. Hit the likes and subscribe if you're new. Frank Alex. We'll appreciate it. Get them algorithm. I can't say it with me full tongue. Algorithm. It's funny how you use the tip of your tongue to talk. You can just up Lars, get the algorithms up there, Lars. I second that, Steve Evans. No care for the fans, bunch of mongs. Absolutely, they don't care. Come on, they don't care. Everybody can see that. But you get certain fans who get certain tickets, and they're terrified to say anything in case the tickets are taken away. As you know that, Michelle. As you know that, Michelle. And Steve says, Steve and Ever, LFC down fan base, right? Stroke the sheep fan base believe anything what lazy journalists and what crap podcasts say. No one knows what players are being targeted by Hughes Ward, who is being sold and loaned out. That's a very good point, Dan. It really is, because I was just looking at a pod before, and they're guessing. I can say, Edison will do me. Someone was going on about Chiesa today. I watch Serie A and I follow Azzurri. They're my national team. I don't support England. I've said that all the time. I've done for many, many years. Just supported the Azzurri. And I've seen that Chiesa, when he first started playing, and he was all right. But now he's not. Juve, a mid-table team. Top team in Serie A for a 20s player, they wouldn't sell it. No way. And on the cheap. And he gets injured frequently, by the way. He gets injured. And he wouldn't suit us. He's predictable, in other words. He's predictable. I've watched him loads of times. I really have. So, if you fancy that Chiesa, who it did like, but he's gone to Arsenal. That was Calafiori. Liked him. He was a good player. Even before the Euros, he was always a good player. Always. Steve Evans, does anyone here actually trust Edwards Hughes' word? Come on, really do you? Frank, get a blue pill. Down and sort your tongue out. Don't behave yourself. The watershed's 9 o'clock, Steve. The blue pill's on. Travel says, apparently the number 6 is coming from outside the Premier League. What's the betting? It's Andre. Typical, that will be. Yeah, it says, see, but as a clickbait, it won't be a Premiership player. Andre, good enough for me. But as I said, Ederson, he's a cracker then. Really is. Covers loads of grounds as well. And Steve, you never walk alone, says Achterberg said FSG gave Klopp a choice of signing Fekir or Becker. Then Klopp needed both. Klopp was forced to terminate the Fekir deal. And remember the spin that came out of that. Fekir was a cracking player. And it said that he was injured and he had a hole in his knee and all this crap. I knew then that was spin to make you and I believe everything that they're saying. And he played the full season for his club, Fekir. And some podders say that Klopp didn't want to sign anyone. I couldn't believe that what I was listening to. I just give up on them. Paul Turner. I was at the walk of Frank on Friday. I was in Southport and missed how it went. It was brilliant. Everybody enjoyed it. Jaw dropping. As they said, when I was showing them things, they just went, wow, didn't even see that. Didn't know that, didn't know this. So it went really well. And I was out shopping with Francine, local supermarket. And I met one of the workers and he seen me and he said, I seen you struggling there, Frank. I said, never mind that. I said, did you enjoy it? He said, brilliant. I'd love to go on another one. When you're doing another one, So that made me day that. When he said that, just meeting that lad. The ACL injury ruined Chiesa, says Steve. See, look, if anyone's up for sale, and I mean, like if a club comes out and say, yeah, he's for sale, you know that there's something wrong. No one would sell the best players ever. unless you're Liverpool Football Club and has to sell your best by someone. The outfield. Question for Frank. Frank, why is it time and time again does our club always have to sell someone before we bring in? We all know FSG are tighter than the Scottish, yes, in littles, but this is crap. That's their model. It's a business model. It's an American business model. They're not interested in Liverpool. Let's be honest, they're not interested in us. They're not interested in the city. They're not interested in you, me, or anybody else. And they knew that Liverpool had this brand. They knew that Liverpool had won Europe. What's these European Cups that these have won? More than any other British club. They've been told. That's what they were told. The Wall Street men. That's who they are. Wall Street. Think about that. Stock market people. They buy and sell shares. That's what they're made of. So they've made Liverpool. If you want to progress, if you want a player, if you want someone brought in, you'll have to sell somebody else. And that's what the model is. That's what their business model is. Sell to buy. And we've been like that all the way through. All the way. You've only got to look at Fernando Torres when he went. Now, Fernando, he didn't want to go, to the contrary of what people are saying. It's just like Bobby Firmino, by the way. He's got a new book out, and he said he was forced out because they didn't want to give him the wages. And he said, I would have even taken a cut. I love Liverpool. I love the city. I love the fans. That's what he said. That's what he said. I'll even take a pay cut. And Klopp wanted him to stay. And then whoever it was, obviously the owners, and we all know who was coming back, said, no, we're not going to give you the rise. We're not giving you the rise. So Klopp was compromised. And he just went, what I can do. But he wanted to keep him. Bobby. That's in his new book that's just now come out. The print's still wet, as they say. Judge Red, there is no number 6 coming in. They have just fed Ornstein with that news to keep the fans happy. See, he's been trying everyone. He's been trying everyone. And he's bigging up the likes of Batatic and Gravenberch now. Bigging up him. Oh, great. But what we've got, look, great house made up at the wins. Don't get me there wrong. That's made up. Beating them. Beating Arsenal. Beating Man U. Real Betis. Made up. But the competition starts a week this Saturday. That's when it starts. The hardest league in the world in club football. And we need, I know, that we just don't need a number 6, We need another centre-back, preferably a left-sided centre-back. So we just don't need one player. We need 2 or 3. And they all have to be top quality. Not one of these, bargain basement things. Fed up with that. I'm fed up with that. Captain Cell says FSTA Sibs in the mud now after claiming Slaughter's happy with the players and the 6 is not necessary, and only for Ornstein, whatever however you pronounce his name, to say the opposite today. Now they are all trying to backtrack on their statements. That's a good point as well. Why don't you just come out? Look, say we sign someone this Friday, for example. Why didn't they sign him a fucking couple of weeks ago instead of all this nonsense and send him over to America so we could get used to the team and the teammates and everything else? Calafiori, class player, bad injury record. That's what Steve. You never walk alone says. Okay. Go along with that though. Anfield says the other problem is later we sign a player that person or persons will have no practice matches to get into the squad. I would have thought before our last few friendlies we could have had 2 players in. Just said. This is what we think. You know, we're saying now. We're saying, what's the use? What's the bloody use of bringing someone in and trying to, like, during the campaign, trying to get them to fit into a system that they could have been playing in pre-season? And Steve, you never says, he's saying to Steve Evans, I will give judgment on you's word after the window closing. How do Frankie boy? Hope you're feeling. How do you do, Frankie boy? Hope you're feeling good. Says today. I wish you would have seen me last, but yesterday couldn't talk. My tongue. Never bite the bottom of your tongue or the tip of your tongue. It's horrible. I've got a drunken chat tonight, boys. The Anfield, Steve Evans, as yet, can't judge them either way, but I don't understand how, with all our recruitment powers, we've yet to sign a senior first team player. Now, last season, we was third. We all know what we need. Absolutely. There's a lot of fights going from one another. You remember on your show, K-Mac said he wants Frimpong to replace Salah. Yeah. Yeah. Nice one, Frank. Really pleased you had a good day last Friday, and the weather was good. Yeah, the weather was dry. It was nice. It was nice. I showed them a building where the Gestapo was going to make their headquarters after the invasion. They were all, defo not interested in winning trophies, says Steve Evans. It's just the Champions League, isn't it? Just the Champions League places. Redbird says Steve K-Mac says he wants Frimpong to be Salah's backup. came back, didn't want to talk about anybody, to be honest. And like the other week when he said, I'm going, when I mentioned the stand isn't even finished, the anecdotes, and I was looking at the stand today, it's still not finished. There's window sills, brickwork, seats, still the roof to do, cladding. It's just, oh, Jesus. Anyway, didn't want to be talking about that. Frank, do you think FSG ain't signed a player because they haven't sold one? It's obvious, isn't it? Look, remember a couple of weeks ago when Nat Phillips, there was an offer for him, and he said no, they wanted money, more money, whatever they were offering, and he said you can't have him. No, he's stuck with us. So they're unless say look, that would have gone into the pot, and they're waiting for offers for the other fella, aren't they? Endo. So that'll go into a pot. That'll go in. No one will buy Reece Jones. What could he go for? He could go for a couple of loaves and a bottle of orange juice, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, some players before anything. If we're keeping like the core of what we want, and keep the likes of Salah and Diaz and whatever, and who's the most? Who could you get the most money for? And it's Endo. No one else. The unfair law. And he's answering Stephen, you'll never. He also said FSG didn't tie up Jurgen's hands either. His opinion is very odd. Of course they tied, yeah. I'm glad you said that.
How you doing, Frank?
That's
like a horror film, isn't it?
I thought you were on a UFO there for a minute and all that, whistling and everything.
With that squeaky door, it sounded like some horror film.
Watched a horror film last night, or the other night. God blimey, went to bed and all. Noises.
Oh, yeah. That's why since I was a kid, I've seen Freddy as a kid on a poster. I thought, I'm not watching any of them type of films, man.
Not watching any of them.
Hellraiser, remember? Is it Hellraiser? Was it Hellraiser? Yeah, the guy with the white face and he had loads of pins in his face. He was scary as well.
Yeah, in Liverpool, lads.
I heard.
Peter, please, you're not going to believe this. You won't believe it. Honest to God, you won't believe it. But this is through all the chat. It was Christmas, and I was having a Christmas Day drink. This is when I was married, and I was in this pub. We all went there, the pub, have a Christmas drink, and then go back and have your dinner. And there was a fellow by the name. He was with a mate of mine I played badminton with, and he was the brother-in-law of this fellow I played badminton with. And his name is Pete Atkins. Peter Atkins. Anyway, I'm chatting to him, and he looked at me. This is when he had black hair, by the way. And he looked at me and he went, how would you like to be in a film? And I went, yeah, all right. Just like that. Because he was drunk and messy, but he meant it. And do you know what it was? Honest to God. It was to be in one of the, what you've just mentioned, one of those films, Hellraiser, the first one. I said, I'll behave. Couldn't be doing that in a hurry, me. That's genuine. And ages after, I said to me mate, I said, was he serious? Just while we're playing badminton. I said, was he serious about it? He said, yeah. Yeah. He said he was dead serious. He said he'd be ideal.
I'm telling you the truth. I could see you as a old school, like an actor. Like I can imagine you in films. No, yeah. You got that personality to pull it off. No, honestly, I say you have that persona about you to do that.
I've been in a panto.
We all have.
Well, this is a panto now, isn't it? This is a panto. Yeah, I was in a panto up in Ormskirk, and believe it or not, I played Ricky Tomlinson. I played him, as a king. I was King Ricky. King Ricky. And my wife was King Barbara. All right, Barb. And they were like, that accent's brilliant. How'd you get that out? I said, it's my accent. Oh, really? It's my accent.
Mad.
All right, Barb. That is a game, Barb. Blimey.
I've always had friends say to me, "Oh, you should be in a film." Like to me as well. Like sometimes, like, yeah, you should be in a film. You should be in a film. I was like, you know what? That's one thing I would love to do is to be in a film, but it have to be directed by one of us. Like I wouldn't want to play a role where I have to be a Man United fan or something. Like Melissa Reddy, end up like Melissa Reddy, Man United fan, undercover. Yeah,
it's incredible. I've been in a film as well. I've been in a play at the Empire Theatre here in Liverpool.
Okay.
But I'm no actor. I'm really not. No singer as well. I had my history show and Jason threw on the records I made, and I didn't know. He threw it on. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, do you agree here with what the Anfield Roar says? And he's talking, he's answering a question or a query to Stephen, you never walk alone. He also said FSG didn't tie up Jurgen's hands. He also said FSG didn't tie up Jurgen's hands either. In his opinion, is very odd. Now, this, they're talking about Ornstein here. Because one of the lads said it's all clickbait. This is all clickbait.
Yeah.
Over the number 6, what's just come out. And all the pods are on meltdown, who they should get, and whatever. We've always said, though, haven't we, that Jurgen's hands were tied over transfers, having money to buy players.
Yeah. That was, for me, showed his true quality as a boss, as a modern day manager. You'd think if he had Chelsea, Man United, Man City money, what would he have done? He would have won 3-4 Champions Leagues, 3-4 Premier Leagues more, no problem in 9 years. So for me, his hands being tied actually cost us, and people won't admit that. The anti-Klopp sort of guys, they won't admit that. And for me, that's the basic fact. It's a fact. That guy wasn't given the credentials and the money to go to where we should be. And it's as simple as that. I don't want to hear nothing that, Edwards this and this and that. No. At the end of the day, money talks, and especially in football, what like when you look at the transfer, like Atletico Madrid today, they're after Alvarez for nearly £80 million.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid, that shows you where we are. If them guys are pulling out 80 million for a guy who's not worth 80 million, no way. That just shows you where we're at the moment. Actually, since a long time.
Yeah. And Steve Evans says, is K-Max still spitting his dummy? I don't know. I haven't seen him, most probably. And Steve, you never walk alone, says, FSG selling terrors was the red flag for me. Showed me FSG are not here to win trophies every season. We've been saying it all along. Haven't we? We've been saying this all along. The Scottish Bear. Good evening, Frank. I'm glad you enjoyed your walk, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much, Scottish. Yusuf just tunes in. Has anyone mentioned the Man United game yet? What did you make of the performance? We'll be talking about that. Everyone's going on about this, number 6 that's just arisen. Whether it's paper talk, whether it's facts, whether it's anything, I don't know. FSG given permission for use Ward to bring in Manu Kone as the number 6 on loan. FSG, cheap FSC, again, on loan. I didn't want a loan deal, I'm being honest, no matter who it is. And the Redbird says, life begins a week on Saturday. It does.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Saturday
Scottish
morning.
yeah. Crumbs, the league starts next weekend, and there's not any signings yet. Must be Klopp's fault, being facetious. Of course he's being facetious, because everything's Klopp's fault. I'll give you, like, if you want to blame anybody, you blame, like, Klopp has become an enemy even before he was leaving. He was like little snide. We witnessed the snide remarks, didn't we, JK, at Klopp, when he was coming to the end of his tenure. And if there's an enemy in sight, it's like these bloody riots now happening in this country. And I was watching that LBC News, and this woman was on, and she blamed the Russians for it. I couldn't, so this is what it's like. You see an enemy there, blame them.
Yeah.
And it was just like Klopp. I wasn't restrained in the transfers. Of course he was restrained. Of course he was. He wanted, I keep saying it, he wanted Shumeni. Then the spin was, big spin. He wanted to go to Real Madrid. We wanted Bellingham, the big spin. He wanted to go to Real. It's so easy to say that. It's so easy. It's like getting a big smack over the head with a mallet, purpose on purpose. And you go, and the person who's hit you over the head with the mallet says, oh, sorry. It's so easy to say you're sorry, if you know what I mean. And Steve, you never sees Arnie singing off FSG hymns. I'm sorry. Arnie's singing off FSG hymn sheet by saying he's happy with the squad. Yeah, I know. If you read his full quote, have you read his quote?
I haven't heard this quote, but I remember when he did an interview back in the days, he sort of respected Klopp in the way where he said he wasn't going to come in and start really making big changes because of Jurgen did a top job in his time with us, and I thought, yeah, that's respectful in the way he said that. But the bigger picture probably being, in other words, we're not going to buy anyone as well.
Yeah.
So like I always said this. If Arne Slot was told not to say anything until the season was over, that he's going to take the Liverpool manager's job, he would have kept it stum. But he was given authority to let the world know he's going to be the new Liverpool manager. Who gave him that authority, So for me, there you go. Like, they are facts, I don't know where some fans get their ideas from in that way of, it's logic and it's fact right in front of your eyes, The guy came out and said, I'm going to be the new Liverpool manager, had a smile on his face. When Fernand had about 3-4 games left. Okay.
Well, even before then, I think it was right after, the week after, Jurgen said, I'm leaving. He popped up on the telly saying, I want to be Liverpool's manager, because he was already approached.
Yep.
He was already approached. Look, these are all mates, so he was already approached. And that was a load of bollocks with, in my opinion, of interviewing, top-class managers, by the way.
look how much time us fans sort of wasted about that Alonso thing. Then you had that guy from Porto, was it Lisbon?
Yeah,
Amaron. Fans were getting all hyped up and stuff, and I think me and you were the only guys who were pretty chilled out about it. We never really got on that hype train, and I thought, you know what, Alonso's not coming, 100%. I knew that as soon as I seen his press conference within that time period where Klopp said he's leaving. I just read there and then, this guy is going for the Bundesliga title. He wants to play Champions League with these guys next season. He's not coming to Liverpool. And look what happened. He stayed at Bayer Leverkusen, you know.
But I think it was spin. I think it was spin by a pro, because Slot had already been approached and he said, yeah. That's why he kept popping up saying, I want to be Liverpool's next manager, to get his face known, because no one knew who is this fella.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just before Klopp was leaving, he was there again. And that's when I said at the time, he's disrespecting the Liverpool fans, Klopp, and also Feyenoord, his club that he's with now, and the Feyenoord fans, by saying I'm going to Liverpool.
Yep.
Think about it.
Simple as.
Yusuf says, I reckon we'll do well against the big sides. My concern is against the teams that will park the bus. We've always had problems with that. And the Anfield Rose answering Redbird. Don't know what to make of this at the minute, do you? And that's with the, the lack of interest in players, the lack of signings. Because what was said before, I said, I don't know whether you were listening or what, JK. If we were signing a player, say let's be hypothetical. Say we get Ederson at the end of the week or next week, middle of next week, just suppose. Now, why didn't we get him weeks ago? So we could, meet his new teammates, fly off to America and play some minutes getting used to a system. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And most probably a lot of other fans as well. Because that's logic. Not signing him a week before, the start of a new campaign while he's got to start training with the new lads and meet the new lads and whatever. That's if he signed anybody, that is.
Mud.
And Frank, what is more concerning for me is Trent, Virgil, Salah ain't signed new deals over the new players being signed. What we said, what did we say last week about the new contracts to those three? What would they come out and say? Not the players, but the club.
Yeah. I think they're waiting, aren't they? Say Wednesday next week or something. Pull out Virgil. He signed a new contract extension. Trent as well. Yeah, this fans are going to be happy. Don't get me wrong, but for me, that's just the basic sort of contracts out.
Yeah, but they'll come out, won't they, and say it's like new signings. That gets on my nerves. That. Like new signings. I said that last week. They're already our players. They've been with us for years. Did you know that Bobby Firmino's got a new book out?
Okay.
And he said that he was forced out.
Oh.
He said he was forced out.
By?
He wanted to stay. He wanted to stay. And he got his agents, his agents were negotiating it to even take a wage cut because he loves the club. He loves the fans. He loves the city. And he just wanted to stay. And his family were very happy here. And he just said no. But Klopp wanted him to stay as well. Klopp wanted him to stay. And he was saying, give him a new contract. And the powers that be, and I think this is at the end of the season, by the way. So the powers that be said no. So you've only got to, 1 and 1 is 2. And who's the new powers that'll be? That just came back, if you know what I mean. And Steve says, hit the effing like button, everyone in the chat. Yes, thank you. Do you know how many likes I've got? I'm not on Facebook anymore, so it doesn't go out on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't go out on Facebook anymore. They won't let me in, because of deception and fraud. Me? Deception and fraud. And they won't give me an answer. I'm saying, well, and Jason's been trying to get answers off them as well. It's the hacker or whoever it is, trying to get money out of people on my name. Thanks, Steve, for that. Thanks. No, I'm not dizzy than the manager. He's only been here 2 weeks, but I'm sure he wants to bring a couple of players in. But we know how tight FSG are. Exactly. See, you're getting conflicting reports. As I said, Sloot's turned around and said, he's happy with the squad. He doesn't need anybody. And there's no one out there. He said, there's no one there. And I thought, a bit silly to say that, because there's loads. There's loads of number 6s. To be honest, that's what I thought. Anyway, I think he's been told he can't have any. To be honest, the Anfield Scottish Bear Klopp told him when he went to the Taylor Swift concert. I don't know what that's all about. I do feel Arna's going to need help badly this season. Pre-season is no measure of ability. But I don't think he has put a foot wrong and we've looked good. Man never thought he was that bad. Okay? But you're right there, Anfield. I said that before. I really did. The big game start next week, pre-season. It's all right. Made up with the wins, obviously. But it's next week. It's the Ipswich game. And a few games in, it's the Man United game again. And they're the testing. That's testing the water. And, we might realise that we do need a number 6. It was like a couple of seasons ago when I was screaming out for a couple of midfielders, and by the time the closing of the window, what did Klopp do? He admitted to the journalist that he was wrong, and you were right. He said, that was his quote. I was wrong, you were right. And he brought in $500,000 on loan. That proves everything about, financial restraint. That just proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. If you were in court, you'd be found guilty for restraint. That's all it is. When you bring in the likes of a player who was already injured, by the way. And Captain Sal K-Mac, the biggest waffler out there, says one thing on one channel and the opposite on another. What a clown, says Captain Sal.
Bless, bro.
Absolutely. He wants a Klopp gone 2 seasons ago. I couldn't believe that.
Fair enough, if you wanted him gone. But show some respect. Like, come on, you know. The guys gave like a decade of his life to us guys, and that's the thanks he gets. You know. Never admit that the owners never gave him that cherry on top of the cake to get him that extra special player in whatever position we needed it in. For whatever season it was, where we failed, come second, lost in the final of the Champions League, you know, just that little extra cherry on top of the cake. They never gave us that ever. So for me,
No.
seeing disrespect towards Klopp, it's sort of like, it's like someone making fun of my family member, you know? I took it personal. It's like, you don't do that to Klopp, you know? That guy is Mr. Liverpool. That, like, he's from Germany, that guy. And he's more Liverpool than any of these fans who say
Yeah,
this. Yeah, come on. He
of
knew
course.
the score.
Well, it was, yeah. He loved the city, he loved the club, he adored us.
Yeah.
He adored every fan. He really did. He loved us fans. And Steve, you never walk alone, says, K-Mac was on a pod yesterday. I asked the host, would you take Frimpong as salary replacement? The host said, hell no. K-Mac said nothing. Now, K-Mac said, he'd take Frimpong over the other fella. So,
Yeah.
good evening, says our Romanian friend, Ali Danus.
Bless bro.
Scottish Bear. Breaking news, Frank and his chat are real. Frank and
Not
his
me.
chat are real Liverpool fan. Isn't that lovely?
That's nice.
Thank you, Scottish. I really appreciate it. And the Reds on here.
Oh, they're proper. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why. Now I always, you know, when you look at the chats of other shows and stuff, the amount of nonsense, and you think, are these guys teenagers or like are they just left school? Like, are they 11? Like that level of respect, you know. We're talking about football here. We're not talking about politics where you can be a bit rude and aggressive or whatever. We're talking about football. We're talking about Liverpool. And when I see our chat here, it's like I really appreciate the comments that come through. You know, proper Liverpool fans.
Oh,
You know,
they're great comments, every single one of them. And that's why, Frank and his chat are real fans. And, you get the likes of the Captain Sal there. You get the likes of the Ali Moose. You get the Anfield Road, the Redbird, Steve, You Never Walk Alone. You get them all.
Ian.
Paul Turner. You get them all. They're all genuine. Steve Evans, they're all genuine football fans that go the game. You know, it's not only going the game, but they know a lot about bloody football, put it that way.
You know, the ones who actually go to the game, they have a sort of an entitlement to be a bit rude, maybe a little bit cocky, if you understand my point. Like they've got a bit of a right to do so. Why? Because they're putting their hands in their pocket every week to go to watch us home and away, and so them guys are watching every game. I think a lot of guys who do these podcasts don't go to the games. You know, they don't go to the games. Half of them, actually, probably 99% of them. I tell you the truth. You know, and they're sort of spitting their dummies out like they're the guys who are putting their own money into the club and we're not doing great and stuff. It's like, come on, man.
Well, the Anfield, how about this? Frank, unless Taylor Swift is our new number 6 this season, that's the only person who's been new to Anfield this summer. FSG out, not football owners. I think he means to say not football owners. They are profit makers. Anfield, we've been saying that. I've been saying it for years. Look. I'm going to ask JK, and you all should know this. You should all know this.
Taylor Swift's new album.
You know we're worth over 5 billion, right? JK. Who made Liverpool that 5 billion to be worth 5 billion? Who's the one man?
There's only one man, Jurgen
Klopp. For what he did. people, like, say, around the world, putting the soccer around, so he was watching soccer, and he's seen this manager at the end of a game going like that, and the cop roaring, ow, 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 and they love all that. They go, wow, look at they're doing with these. And that's how it was. And all these became fans, then the merchandise sold, and then the profit started to go up. We've got a fantastic worldwide fan base, unbelievable fan base, and that's how it went up. Maradona became a Liverpool supporter back in 2005. Maradona. Johan Cruyff was a big Liverpool fan. Incredible. Incredible.
The amount of respect a lot of players, like just giving two examples, Anthony Gordon asked the
Yeah.
question, which is the best stadium? And he was Anfield. Thomas Muller was asked, which team in England would you play for if you had the chance to? Who did he say? He said, Man City, very good team. But for me, it's Liverpool. I would have played for them. And as a lot of Germans, Jurgen Klopp got the Liverpool fans in Germany all sort of came out, as soon as he became Liverpool manager, a lot of Germans watched the Premier League because of Jurgen, and with that became a lot of new fans. It's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah, what makes me laugh is like when you, as a guy, can turn 300 million into 5 billion within 5-6 years. Business guys who went to university for 10 years to study business finance cannot do that.
No.
You know what I mean? This guy's from the Black Forest. He's a football nut, Jurgen Klopp. He loves football. And with that, he just made our club. He took us back where we should be, where we belong. Let's get
Yeah,
that
of
right.
course.
There you
Of
go.
course. There's me. I'm a PhD, and I can't make 10 quid a week. There's a fella from the Black Forest making 5 billion. Unbelievable. The captain Sal says, Steve, I saw that. What a clown. That's about Frimpong, and K-Mac just sitting there and said nothing. When the host said, I wouldn't have Frimpong over Sal. No way. Ali Benu said, looks like we made a lot of transfers this summer, Frank. We transferred them from the under-21 team to the big team. New transfer, Van der Beek.
Spot on.
I think that's a very good point, though, isn't it? It is a good point. But I think Van den Berg, I think he's being put in the shop window. I think they're hoping to sell him along with Phillips and Endo, to be honest. JK, your legs are squeaking, lad, says the Anfield Roar.
Bless bro.
That's when you first come in. And Yusuf says that door needs some WD-40. And Paul saying, even in JK, hope you're okay.
Bless bro. I hope you're okay as well. I'm cool.
And the Scottish, JK, get that door oiled.
Oh man, he needs doing.
The Anfield Roar, the Redbirds is answering Anfield Roar. He says, I'm looking forward to see how well Arnie does or works with the players to get the best out of them. It's only pre-season, but we need improvement. This is what we've been saying all along, Redbird. This is what, and the Anfield Roar agrees as well. We all agree on the chat. We do need improvement. See, you look at it another way. Man City, Arsenal, the likes of Man City, I'm not being funny, but they didn't need improvement, yet they bought. Arsenal, they bought, in other words, they've strengthened. Aston Villa below us, who finished fourth, they've strengthened. And every other team below us, below them, they've all strengthened. Every single one of them have strengthened. And we're just sitting here doing nothing. It's all speculation. It's all assumption. That's all that it is. And, what do we do? Will we buy? This is all that we're saying. This is all that we're saying. And, don't forget that journals, they like to spin things as well. Not for themselves, but for the club as well. But for the club. And JK in the house.
Bless, bro.
And the Redbirds said, we'll go on about that. We'll just get down a couple of more. And then we'll talk about the game against Man United. Is that all right?
Yeah,
because, the Redbirds saying, Raw, I liked what I saw in pre-season. We are a number 6 away from a title challenge, says Ian McCartney. That's a cracking point. We're all saying it, Ian, on here. Honestly,
have been for years. We've always been a number 6 away from a title, to a title, I would say. We challenged last season with this. I wouldn't say top class. Endo wasn't a top number 6, but still, with him being there, we was in the title challenge.
We were.
Yeah.
And then he went, didn't he? He went to those Asian games or wherever he went. And Ian Max says, we'll get signings in. Arnie and all the staff needs a time at AXA and on tour to see what the squad is like. Now they know a lot more and can see who leaves and what we need to strengthen. My take on that, Ian, he's already been told what we need. He really has, before going away. And I understand what you're saying, but he's come out in a quote and said, I like what I've seen. I like what I've seen, so, there's no rush to buy anyone. I'm paraphrasing what he said, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So when I read into that right away, and this is only this morning, and thought, we're not going to buy anyone. Where we do need improvement. We do need improvement. I'm not bothered about the forwards. Don't need them. Really don't need forwards. And the Redbird, Anfield Row. Arnie looks capable of big time. Yes, pre-season he was spot on tactically, and I hope we start aggressive and put Ipswich away quickly. As fans, though, a signing or two would be nice. And even if Frank, JK, and chat, even in Ian. And our Daz, big up Frank, hope you're well. Also blessed JK. And that, thank you. Thank you, Daz. Thank you, mate. And the Ali Danu says, Klopp has pork steak money and bought beef steak. No, Klopp had pork steak money and bought beef steak. Now we need to recover those huge money. Chelsea spent 1.5 billion in 2 years.
Man. And they're still moaning.
Yeah.
How are you giving Potter?
Sorry?
How are they giving Potter that money?
Yeah.
Come on, man. This is what shows me. Okay, I'm going to just quickly say something. They've had Potter in there. Then they had Pochettino, who I thought was a good manager. And now this guy from Leicester. It doesn't matter what players you got. It doesn't matter how much money you spend. If the guy at the top, the manager, the coach, as they want to call him now, isn't that right guy, That's going to be a lot of waste of money there. Now,
Yeah,
fans will appreciate Jurgen Klopp, what he actually did for us, you know?
yeah, and we all know Pep is a good manager. We all knew that. But he had the money. He got the money, and he made them great. All right, he struggled in the Champions League until they won it last year, but he struggled in it, didn't he? Klopp, he didn't struggle. Klopp didn't struggle in the Champions League. He was brilliant. So
Mm-hmm.
just imagine if he had the money that the Pep had, and as you said, what we would have won. And I'm not saying could have. I'm saying would have. Would have, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And the Anfield Road, do what the fans did in Happy Days. You happy people, get them thumbs up for Frankie. Aye, yeah, Frankie. Thank you, thank you. Hey, hey,
Hey.
brilliant, lovely. Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
Daz, if I just wanted to say to Daz, if you can get that pin for the fantasy football, you can put it in the chat. I'll get it sent to him, and I'll join it as well, bro.
Oh, you're going?
No. There's with the Premier League, there's a fantasy football,
Oh
uh,
yeah. Sorry,
and
yeah.
then Daz is doing a league. 12 months is going to do a league, and I can even do a league for our channel as well. So
Yeah,
everyone
okay.
can join. I'll get it ready for the next show on Thursday. So
Excellent stuff.
you'll have a week to get your team ready. I think a lot of guys have got their teams ready already. We did one for the Euros as well. It was
Yeah,
good fun. Yeah. I'll
yeah,
get one
that'd be
ready.
nice. That'd
Hmm.
be nice to have something like that. Yeah, good thinking about. And Steve, you never walk alone. JK, you want to do some acting? Pornhub are looking for some actors that can scream and shout a lot. I have
Okay.
put your name on the list.
Good. Too funny.
Pornhub. Oh, blimey. Oh, that's lovely, that. It really is. JK, talking cold hard facts about Klopp, says Steve, you never walk alone. If he was backed more by FSG, Klopp wins more titles and CL trophies. Absolutely.
Simple
This
as.
is what it's all about. And we don't fuck around on this. We just say it as it is. We
Imagine
say
Klopp went to
it.
Chelsea and got that 1.5 billion. Wow. They would be running English football, Chelsea. They didn't just have the right manager in place to sort of get all them players together and make them into winners, and that's what Klopp did the best. He took a good player and made him into a world class player, and a lot of managers can't do that.
Yeah. And the Anfield Rose asking Taz, Taz, can you put on the screen that pin again, please, mate? As I accidentally deleted the recent picture you gave me.
Yeah, that's cool.
He'll do that. He'll do that for you, Anfield. We are a big team, JK, who looks like an average one. But who knows? Slot will do magic this year, and we will win the Premier League.
Hope so.
That's what I like. That's what I like, all the positiveness. Raw, we still have a couple of top guns coming back. I'm looking forward to what Slot can get out of Darwin. Says the Redbird to the Raw. I was watching the build-up, and I put us on the Man United thing, their build-up, the live build-up to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, obviously, Manchester United fans, and they said, look at Liverpool's team, it's strong. Look at all the top players there, and going on and on and on. And I thought, hang on a minute, there's Ali out, there's Trent out, there's Virgil out. There's Darwin out. There's McAllister out. There's Szoboszlai out because he wasn't even.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
And Diaz, you know, they weren't there. All them players, and you know, they're saying we've got a strong team out. I think they were afraid at the beginning, you know, just in case they got beat, which they did, obviously. To say they had a better team, their team, you know, was stronger than ours, and look who they had out. They had more or less a full team.
Mm-hmm. I think Man United and Chelsea they were successful back in the days. They had a period of time where they were top dogs, but I think they've sort of just took money at the situation instead of using their brains. Like when Moisey came in, he had to take over one of the most successful managers in the British game, you know, and he wasn't really given them maybe the time to do so. But then again, was Moisey a top manager? You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stephen says, evening, JK. Hope you're okay, mate. Frank's got tongue tied already tonight. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Steve says, JK Casualty on BBC are looking for actors with arms and plasters.
Is that still on Casualty, actually?
I never watch it. I don't watch terrestrial telly, to be honest. Redbirds, LFC, oh yeah. Darwin, I'm interested too. This season is huge for him. 25 years old, and even though he got 13 assists last season, I want 13 more goals
Yeah.
on his record. Let's hope it works. So say all of us, Anfield and Redbird. So say all of us. I'll let them on to one another now. And Steve, you never walk alone, says FSG latest propaganda is club is looking for quality players, but the market is small for these type of player. So Bellingham, not a quality player. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. Brian, the best thing to happen to this great club of ours this year would be if Jurgen wrote his book, then watch the changeover. Jurgen is a very respectful person, and I don't think he'd let any cats out the bags.
See, man. Yeah.
I really don't. I really don't.
No. The guy's too. You're not getting another Jurgen Klopp. You ain't getting that loyalty, you know. Wow, what a guy, man.
Not sure if Jamie is on tonight, Taz, bro. Says the Scottish bear. He's talking to Taz Reynolds there. And Steve says, I'm happy with Arnie coming in. His style of football is similar to Shanks, said Bob Fagan. Yep, and Kenny Dalglish. And Taz says, JK, can you please give the 12th man my FPL pin?
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
And Steve carries on by saying, Newcastle nearly signing Gui and looking to sign Bowen or Kudos to replace Gordon, who wants to join LFC. But they'll get one of them because they've got the money, haven't they? It's as simple as that, no matter what price it is.
But
I like what I think. I'm sorry. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's just like Villa, Everton, and Newcastle were the three clubs who all in January were hiding behind a brick wall. Oh, we can't buy no one, and this and that. They've been busy this summer, you know. Villa have been busy. Okay, they got rid of Diaby and Ruiz. What's the guy in the midfield called from Villa who went to Juventus? He's gone. So so they've got them gone, but they're still making moves. You know, just like I think Forest as well. are making moves as well, and they were sort of under the radar of them rules. So that's what making me laugh. I'm thinking all these guys were scared in January, and all of a sudden, like, they're buying players. So what are we actually doing right now?
Well, there's Everton. They haven't even got owners, and they're buying players.
Yeah, exactly.
And Brian says, I like what I see from Slot so far. No trophies in pre-season, but he has something about him. Some crack. If our squad defies all odds and stays fit for the season, we will be close, but injuries for sure. Steve, you never walk alone. FSG forced Firmino out, doing Klopp dirty on the Bellingham deal. That's why Klopp left 2 years early. No, he left because of the other fella back, Edwards. That's what. Jurgen Klopp stayed because of you and me. That's who he stayed, and the love of the club. That's why Jurgen stayed with us. That's why he was contemplating another 5-year deal. But the dirty was done on him, and he'd never come out and say it, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But we know we're not stupid people. We are not stupid people. Question for the panel, says the Anfield Roar. Bobby Clark being kind of forced out for sale. I am not happy about this. I feel he is a great prospect, and I'll be disappointed if he leaves. I know he wants to play, so loan him.
Bang on. I think Bobby Clark is one of the... What's the games he played in? The guy now has to get stuck in. You know, his dad was a player. He's probably learned a lot from him.
Southampton was it? So I know he played against Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
I was there watching the game. But anyway, you know,
good little player.
Yeah. But again, it's all this. They want money in. If Liverpool are going to buy, they have to sell, no matter who it is. So if the likes of Mo Salah or any of the big money players being sold for big money, this is what I'm saying. They get rid of, you know, like, I hate saying surplus to requirements, that is. And Bobby Clark is being looked at, yeah, he's surplus. We can replace him, get him out the door, get him out the door, get him out the door, get him out the door. And then the pot builds up. And then they go, yeah, buy him and sell a few more shirts. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. Justin woke up on the couch. Shouldn't fall asleep, should you? Jay. Cheers, mate. Good to see you. Frank, lads, everyone says the Scottish pair. That Matt O'Reilly is the best player to come out of Scotland since Virgil. He ripped Chelsea and City to bits. I have watched every game he's played in 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. 7 bids received. Yeah, the Celtic lad. There's been good reports about him.
Yeah.
Been good reports about him.
I think a foreign team was after him as well.
Yeah, they were.
Atletico Madrid as well, was it?
Yes, yeah, it was.
Someone. Yeah.
It was like Atletico or someone like that, yeah. Or was it Sevilla themselves? It was someone anyway in Spain. There was someone in Spain. Yeah. Anfield Roar, I'd keep Bobby. Great future, but what do you think about Ben Doak? I don't think he will get any better. Just got the feeling open wrong. Ben Doak.
I think mentally, if he gets it right, football wise, you can just see he's a player. You know, yeah. What it is, I think a lot of fans sometimes forget that these guys are young. You know, like when we were young. 16, 17, 18, we were just probably doing paper rounds and stuff like that. You know what I mean? These guys are trying to pay for Liverpool Football Club, and I think that's why I don't really get on the youth players' backs. You know, if they make a mistake, yeah, they do that. You know, Kwanzaa's made a mistake once or twice, and but look, when he plays since then, he's been quality.
We've got some great quality young kids. That Naomi, he's good as well. Steve, you never walk alone. Arnie wants players. That's why he told you to hijack the Max FIFA deal. Brighton already done the deal on their FIFA.
Yep.
Steve, you never were. Captain Sal, K-Mac, a baby. Another fraud of a podcast.
Lord of mercy.
The Liverpool vlogs. Hello, Frank and JK. My bro-in-law is saying today that apparently we're getting a CDM next week. No idea who, but to help Enzo cover the competition. You know, that is the FA Cup, League Cup, everything. Who knows for sure? Again, this is all supposition. And Darrell says, joke now, Pierce now saying we're not getting a number 6.
He's always coming out with comments like that, though, Pierce.
Yeah. Hopefully it's true, says the vlogs. He was right in the past with LFC being interested in certain players. We need a CDM and then a defender. But looks like it might only be a CDM, and that's it. Even that happens.
Yep.
All the other chats, says Brian, are from fans that jumped back on the wagon in 2018. Do history show that we will see what they know? Yes, some are quite young, but it's the others our own ages who jumped on as well. Of course.
Yep.
There's loads of bandwagons that go past everybody, and they like jumping on. It's like anything. It's like anything. Anything at all. If you see something and everybody's agreeing, it could be politics, it could be anything, they jump on it, on the bandwagon, without looking at the bigger picture.
Simple as.
Or having their own thoughts, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been like that. And Scottish says, JK, you were included with that comment I made earlier. You hadn't arrived when I made it. You are a true red, JK. Appreciated.
Oh, many thanks. Many thanks, bro. We're all two reds here. Not everyone, but we all are. Most of us.
Oh, do you know Taz there? Look? And Taz is, I think Taz is one of the nicest people.
Yeah, top lad.
He said, Frank K. Mac does me head in. Even every time he's on Jamie's show. You know,
Lord of mercy.
There you go. There you go. But we're not
Football
here
is a simple game. We don't need people to overcomplicate it. I always said that. Simple as. Football is a beautiful game. Logic is football, you know. That's why I actually love football, because it's so logical. Like if I've got a few players in my team who are a bit like party goers and stuff like that, I want them not to do that anymore if they're in my team, you know. I want them to get back to basics, train, play football. You've got enough time to party later on in your life, you know. But at this right now, it's all about football. Keep it simple. And that's what Klopp was good at. He took away all that show business, that, you know, that arrogance that some players have, like, say, Man City, Arsenal, even their players. I'm thinking these guys acting like they saved the world or something, you know. These guys are just footballers. Some are good, don't get me wrong, but I like the way Klopp sort of schooled our players, even people like Virgil, Alisson, Bobby. did you notice none of them made a fuss? They just got on
No.
with it, and that was Jurgen Klopp keeping it football simple. And I
Yep.
think, and I don't want us to overcomplicate football, man. When that's like we're actually on that road now, where a lot of people are just talking, going round and round in circles, overcomplicating football. We don't need that in the game.
But they overcomplicate it by silly comments.
Yep.
That's how they complicate
Yep.
things.
Yep.
And, they do complicate things. And it confuses people. And then they start jumping on bandwagons. The Scottish Bear says Klopp and Diego Simeone are the two big money ball managers in the last 20 years. Facts. Top three, challenging for everything. Champions League, deep runs with little transfer funds. That's Moneyball, says the Scottish Bear. Spot on that.
Spot on. But this
Spot
season,
on.
Atletico Madrid have even gave Simeone the treasure chest that we were promised for years. He's brought Alvarez is coming in, and then they're going for Conor Gallagher and that Celtic lad. So they're getting busy.
Yeah.
That's about 120 odd 30 million, 130 million, say. Because Alvarez 80 million. Like still, even my mum was saying, like, what's that all about? Like 80 million for Alvarez? Man City are laughing. Like that was a no-brainer. They're like, yeah, send him, no problem. How much did they get Alvarez? Do you remember for about 40? About 40 odd. I think it was around that figure. About 40, 47, maybe even less, maybe. But to get that figure now for him, wow, top business.
Well, I think it's the name as well, Manchester City.
Yeah, that adds to
he must be great if Manchester City bought him and
Mm.
made him into a better player. That's why their price went up. That's what people think anyway. Steve, you never walk alone. FSG 100% selling. That is big. Cavallo, if the right offers come in. Definitely Cavallo, yeah. Definitely, yeah. West Ham, still looking at Gomez.
I wouldn't let him look no more. I'd say to Gomez, chill. Unless he wants to go back to London, That's the excuse a lot of people come out with. I don't know where they get these ideas from. But I can't really see Gomez wanted to leave Trent, Virgil, that connection he's got with them guys, moving to West Ham. It'll be London for him, because that's where he's from. But in general, you don't want to stay at Liverpool where you've been for the last, how many years? Wow, 12, 11, something like that. He's been for long, man.
I think it's 9 years he's been here.
I think he was here before Klopp, so it's about 11, I think. He just came, about 11, because he was here when Brenda was
I
here.
know he was a kid.
He was a kid, yeah.
Klopp, yeah. The Judge Red says, being on to Corporal Jones about LFC transfer window, he said, don't panic, don't panic. I think we're a judge.
I thought that was Curtis Jones's new name, Corporal Jones. I wish he was like that a bit corporalish.
Oh dear. Daz came like a fraud and a crybaby. He knows little about footy, says Steve. And that's a reply to Daz. There's Jamie. I think Jamie will be gone now. That was what? Yeah, half an hour ago. Good evening. Good evening, Jamie. If you're still with us. You're still with us, mate. Trust my words, if Chelsea will still use the same players in the next 1 to 2 years, they will be a very good squad. They need time, says the Ali News. Yes, I agree there. When people are mentioning, other teams, I've heard them. Chelsea never get mentioned. And they've got some players there, you know. You only need the right manager. I think they should have kept Pochettino. I think the Poch is all right, you know.
Yeah.
He got Tottenham to a European final. And he finished high up as well, didn't he? And they sacked him. I think Harry Kane got him the sack, to be honest. Steve Neil Level. JK, where you based in England? Where you based in England? You sound like my accountant, with your accent. No, he's not an accountant, you're all right there, Steve. He's not an
In the
accountant.
Midlands. From the Midlands, bro.
Sound like my accountant.
That's cool.
I've got an accountant, and she's quite good, actually. And her name is Francine Carlyle. And my banker. Chelsea manager will be sacked by Christmas this year, says Steve. You never walk alone.
Possible.
And Yusuf's got you spot on there. Sounds like somewhere in the Midlands.
Bang on. Birmingham, Coventry, yeah.
Yeah. Just left of Birmingham.
Birmingham?
Birmingham. Steve says FSG got Klopp to sign a contract before he left. That stops him writing a book about his time at LFC, while FSG remain at LFC. Yeah. But there's one thing, I tell you, he could write a book about it. And that'll be his wife, Ula. Got nothing on it. And she could just write away the truth. So you never know.
I think the comment that you make about Klopp saying, I didn't want to leave, but I had to, sort of just tells you that's what the situation was, you know. Klopp, at the start, it's like, I think Arnie Slot, for example, he will be cool at the start. He's not going to pressure the guys that he needs players because he's just getting his feet warm, you know. But I can see if he's sort of successful in the first 2 years, 3 years, he's going to sort of knocking on their door, saying, I need this guy now. Yeah, that's what happens to new guys coming into clubs. They always sort of respectful to the owners, to fans, and they don't want to walk in, I want this guy, I want this guy, I want this guy. But I think it comes to a point where you got to go in there and do that, you know, after 2, 3, 4 years maybe.
No, I think I don't think you're right. You are right. And don't forget, you've got confidentiality clauses as well, which you can't say anything. That's why I mentioned about Ula, his wife. She can write what she wants. She's got the inside information. She has. She must do. She knows why she turned her back on John Henry and his wife. She turned her back. She wouldn't even look. It's a brilliant picture. Seen it. Just turned her back. And Jürgen ran down towards her, and he must have been trying to bring her on. He must have said, oh, come on. You know, this is before he went out and shake her. I'll come down for you, come up. And she just turned her back on him. Not on him, but on those. She didn't want to meet them. So she knew the score. And if anyone can't see that, I'll go. If anyone can't see that at all,
go to Vision Express.
Yeah. It's just nuts.
It's nuts, yeah.
Just nuts. Steve, the unfair loan out Bobby Clark to a championship club that plays good footy for the season and let him develop. I think, that's a good point, though. It is.
Bobby Clark has tenacity. He likes getting stuck in. So to see a youth player doing that, I like that. Shows me he's got that fight in him. He just don't let the game go on, carry on in front of him without him thinking, you know what, I'm going to get stuck in here. That's what we want to see. That's how Gerrard came onto the scene. He used to get stuck in, and that's how the fans loved him. Liverpool fans love guys who get stuck in, even if not, some of them are not top quality. Them getting stuck in gives them that quality, and that's why
Jamie Carragher got stuck in.
Yeah.
And do you ever remember the balance saying 11 Jamie Carragher's in the team because he got stuck in every game, 110% every game. I'm not saying Stevie or the rest of the lads didn't give it 110%, but they knew what Jamie was all about. And Steve, you never walk, says best young kids at the club should go out on loan deals for a season. That is Gordon, that K Gordon, that is. Clark, McConnell, and Beck.
Yep.
Good
Beck,
show.
I would keep. I think with Andy Robertson not being fit yet, and Tsimikas, the only guy who's sort of fit left back wise, I would probably keep Beck because I don't want that same situation.
Tsimikas has been playing well though.
He's been playing bang on.
He's been playing well. In the pre-season, but then again, do we take pre-season? What is pre-season? Is it just getting fit? But we're all loving the wins. We don't want to see us getting beat. So it's a funny old thing.
Yeah, but the way Man United were playing that game, that meant a lot to them guys.
I know.
They were up for it. They were fouling and this and that. One of the guys, Fish got caught out, didn't he? He tried to foul. Who did he foul? He tried to foul someone, and then what happened? He ended up getting on a stretcher off the field. So they were up for it that game. So pre-season, Yep.
So were Real Betis. They were up for it as well. They were going around kicking.
Yep.
They're supposed to be friendly football game. Maybe if FSG think it's cheaper, they will buy 2 number 3s instead of 1 number 6. Says Brian. And Jay says, you, me, and everyone who has half a clue can see where we need improvement and where we are thin. A trip to Thiago Air Specialist won't do. Get the signings done fast, FSG.
Yep, time's going quick.
Well, we've only got what?
9 days? 11 days? 10 days, sorry?
Just less than 2 weeks.
It is. Friday is the first game next week. So Friday week is the first game. Fulham United. Hopefully see Fulham win that. And then Saturday mornings is this guys.
Well, Richard Rios apparently is available for 13 million. Why ain't news over this deal?
Yep. He had a good Copa America. And yeah, man. For that price, you can't go wrong, can you?
No, not at all. Maybe it's him coming in. If there's, no one from the Premiership. If you know what I mean. Good punch on Bobby Clark. Says Anfield Raw to Brian. Loan out Gordon Clark to Coventry City. Played great footy with a class manager.
Mark Robbins, yeah. Club City doing well.
And Richard Hutchinson says Leeds, send them out to Leeds. And Steve says about young Jans, he hasn't been mentioned. Jan's being out on loan and learning from an ex-world-class striker. It's all good for his development. I reckon Jan, I still keep saying it's all right, he's on loan now. I reckon young Jans is a wonderful prospect.
Out of all the youth players, Frank, who is the one that you think is going to have the best career, for example? Like with all the youth players we've got,
Out of them all,
yeah, including Kwanzaa and the right back lad.
Bradley,
Yeah,
Kwanzaa,
that's what I think as well.
Kwanzaa.
Hmm.
He's immense, that kid. He's immense. He's
What?
tall. And I noticed him, I was watching This Is Anfield, after the Man United game. And he's big. He's filling out more.
Yeah, man.
He's
Yeah.
filling out more. And he's got a bit of a miserable gob, because he never seems to smile. But I
Hmm.
think that's the determination and the
Yep.
concentration and everything else within him.
Yep. Exactly.
I think he's
Good to see.
brilliant.
Good to see.
Richard Hutchinson, which generation of football is better? Do you like the system, press and positioning, and eradicate? What's your take on what Richard says there? Do you like the system,
Hmm.
press and positioning, and eradicate?
I've always liked passing, but even under Kenny, we had that. We were the best passers in the game in
Yeah,
England. Do you see the football we used to play? Yeah, Rush, Barnes, McMahon. Pass and move was the Liverpool groove, they used to say, and it was true. And I sort of enjoyed that football type more. Like I can't really watch a lot of Man City play because it's a bit boring for me.
yeah.
Too predictable, and that's what amazes me. It's like don't these footballers on the pitch realize how Man City are going to play? Come on, you know. Where Liverpool a little bit different to that. Hence why I think Klopp as a manager is more entertaining than say a Pep Guardiola, for example.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as I said, I think Bradley's brilliant as well.
Hmm.
He gets stuck in.
Yeah,
He gets stuck in, that lad.
yeah.
And he's not afraid to get stuck in either. That's what I like, those two young lads. But I like Dan's.
Yeah.
I really like him. He can pass a ball, he can head a ball, and his positioning is brilliant. Young Dan's.
Okay.
I'm glad his parents never made him, called him Danny, Danny Dans. Dan Dans.
Double E. Ah, eh, too funny.
And Richard says risk and errors. There'll be loads of risks and errors, to be honest, this season. Richard. Quonsar, the Prince of the Virgil Crown. Yes,
Hmm. Hmm.
says Steve. Yusuf Virgil van Quonsar will be his name from now on.
VVQ.
That's it. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And who brought him through?
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. But that'll all be forgotten. That'll
Yeah.
all be forgotten. And Steve, you never were. Bradley going to be frightening when he's 24, 5.
Hmm.
And Quonsar, Yusuf, or the Warrington Baresi. Baresi was great. That kid calls me Baresi.
Uh-huh.
He always calls me Baresi, even when we're out. Yeah, what do you want, Baresi?
Did you play centre half then?
Me?
Mm-hmm. No, I
No.
think you played on the wing, right wing was it, or left wing? One of them. I remember you saying.
Well, I had to play left half,
Okay.
left side of midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 on my back.
There you go. They're waiting for you, Frank.
It was a big left footer. I
Mm-hmm.
scored one of the best goals ever, and it was the flukiest goal ever. Oh, there's Myra. Oh, Myra. Hiya, Myra. Oh, great to see you. Myra's was a life football. She's just popped in to acknowledge Frank. Oh, that's lovely. That's so lovely, that of you, Myra. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Yeah, I scored a great goal, but it was fluky. The ball came over, right, and there was this fella running at me, running at me. And, the way you're moving back and all, this fella's going to hit me here. If you know what I mean, right at me he was going. So as he's getting there, I just got the ball, just lofted it over his head. And I ran around him, and I just went to clear it. That's all, volley it. As it hit it over his head, and I just volleyed it. And went right up. And the goalkeeper was off his line.
Mm-hmm.
And he went in. Went over the goal, he bounced and went to the goal. Went in the net. And they were all going, did you, mate? You never meant that. I said, I did. That's it. And the fella who, headed it over and volleyed, he kicked me. He kicked me. Little slight kick. And Myra says, Frank, I'm a rugby person. Myra, when I was just talking about that, I think that fella wanted to play rugby with me. Grab me on the floor and pummel me. But anyway, that's lovely, that, Myra. I bet I'll tell you who you support. South Africa. I bet you're the South African girl. Because they're a great team. Like the All Blacks. The All Blacks were an unbelievable team. But they always had great teams, even the own teams. The likes of England and Wales and Scotland were a hefty team as well. But you have Argentina now, and they're coming into the rugby union I'm talking about, Myra. Am I right? Steve says, if Joker's loans out, he will be ruined. Leave Joke in the under-23 squad for 2 years. Yeah, because he's only a kid.
He's a kid. I would keep him, because for me, we got no cover for Salah.
No.
Doak would have been cover for Salah last season if he kept fit. Doak, he wasn't fit the whole season. So for me, I want to see what he can do. I know he's a player, 100%. Yeah.
He is a good little player. There's undoubtedly, he's got brilliant talent. He really has. Richard Hutchinson. We will never see 11 academy players on the pitch for Liverpool in the UCL final, FA Cup final, EFL final, and win the EPL. No, you'll never see them all together. But you will see them playing in every one of those, except the Champions League, unless we're beating someone in a 12-0 and playing back at Anfield. When we're 4-0 up, that's when you'll get them on there. Ian Mac, Big Jarrell was what a player. Kid is class. So level-headed. Speaks very well. And he does speak very well. He does. Good point, that, Ian, mate. Good point. I like that point. And that's respectful to the kid. And I've got a message. And it's from
Jürgen.
It's from Ula, his wife. And she says, Frank, I've been watching the show, and you're so right. I can write a book.
Boom.
Watch this space. And a big kiss for Frank, a kiss, one of them X's, and a heart. and an arrow going through the heart. What does that mean?
He's going to break your heart, bro.
I don't know, you'd have to go, JK, and made up that you came on to give me some help.
Great show, bro. Good having a laugh, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about having a laugh, man. People need to smile again and
Yes.
start laughing again, for sure.
Yes. But as I said, I bit my tongue yesterday, the blood. But it's all the human body is a great machine. You know, diesel's quick. You know. But anyway, I hope to see you on Thursday.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, you take care, JK.
Take care, bro. Take care, Ian. You have a good night as well, bro. And everyone else in the chat.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
Take care, bro.
See you later. Ci vediamo. Ciao. Well, JK, I'm on my own now. And it's great, JK. It's great. He's a lovely fella. Just a lovely, lovely fella. Loves Liverpool. Loves it. Loves the club. And all the fans, by the way. Loves them all. There is a reason why Newcastle wants a Quansah in the Gordon sale, says Steve. You know, of course. No chance of him going anywhere. That would have caused murder here. That would have gone through. Murder. Caused murder. And Steve LFC, even in Frank and JK, that Pep Linders wants Bobby Clark on loan out. Yeah. At Strasbourg. I was in France trying to get a lift to Strasbourg. And there was an incident that I entailed. Incredible. Mad it was. Mad. I was going to mention it on my show last night, on my history show, when I had the paranormal fella there. But I thought, no, I won't mention it. Incredible. And I was on my way, trying to get to Strasbourg, as they say. Quansah starts ahead of Canete for me at Ipswich, says Ian Mack. I think I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion, but I think that's in the eyes of every Liverpool fan. I think. And it'll be a surprise if he isn't. And Yusuf says, why is it that rugby players have cauliflower ears? Because they're always, you know, them scrums. They're banging their ears, aren't they? I remember when I was at university, I was talking to this lecturer, and he had cauliflower ears. He was a sports fella. He was a lecturer at sports, you know, physical education. And he had that tetanitis, and that was all through rugby and cauliflower ears. Boxers get them as well. That's why they started to, years ago. Oh, there you are, Myra. Frank, I'm Springbok rugby supporter from my country. The Springboks, eh? What a team. That's lovely, that, honestly. That's great, that, Myra. Springbok supporter. What a team. What a team. Well done. Well done. And Paul says, Liverpool has a rugby league team and changed their name to White. He did. He did. He certainly did. And Youssef, I like the haka that New Zealand do before the rugby match, pulling the faces. Yeah. And that's to intimidate and frighten the opposition. And I think they do, you know, I think it does intimidate with that haka. Not that, you know, I'm against it or anything, but the All Blacks, fantastic team. Australia, very strong team as well. Australia. G'day. Australia. Yep. And Youssef, I reckon Liverpool players should follow suit as the Kiwis do in rugby. My dad was a Kiwi. Mother Italian. He was New Zealand. Yeah. He was in the New Zealand. He was an officer in the Navy, Royal New Zealand Navy. And during the war, he was a bit of a hero actually. During the war, he was in what you call the SBS, Special Boat Service, like the SAS today. They have the Navy has a SBS, and he was blowing up submarines and disabling them and battleships and things. It's a diver. My dad. So that's great, that Myra. Springbok. Very good. Nice one. Have a good night, JK, mate, says Ian Mack. I did all saying to that to JK. Steve, you never walk alone. Paul Turner, the Anfield Road. Ali Danus, he says, have a good night, all. See you next time. Make it longer next time, Frank. Make what longer? Make what longer? So don't forget, he's in Romania, and they're like 2 hours ahead. 2 hours ahead of us. So it must be around midnight now there. No, it's not 11 o'clock. Listen, people, I've got a show, but it's not about football or history. History will come into it. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock. And it's coming on. And it's about what's going on in the world today. That's if we're still here tomorrow. That's if we're still here tomorrow. Because I think it has to be said. Well, I might only be on my own. And, you can ask questions, you can give your comments. I'd love you to join me. But I will be going out on there at 8 o'clock. And I'll be talking about what's going on. Hopefully some of you will join me. Get away from football for a couple of hours. And don't forget, I have the film review as well on Saturday morning. Some good films as well. And don't forget, I'll be back on Thursday. Same time, 8 o'clock. So if you're looking in, Myra, still there with us. Try and tune in tomorrow. Because Myra and myself go on these different podcasts, streams. They're very intelligent. I'm not, they are intelligent, these lads. They're all, ex-diplomats, ex-army officers, ex-everything. Journalists, top jolly journalists as well. You don't take anything for granted. You tell the truth. That's what we go. That's what we go on. Myra and myself. I'd love you to join me, though. I really would. And Jay says, Arrivederci. JK. Arrivederci. The old Italian coming out. I love the Italian. And Paul Turner says, I don't know how you slept last night, Frank, after the show. You don't watch paranormal films on your own. No. When I was in that bloody warehouse with him, Frank. And funny enough, I got a message off Jason and I didn't read it out. And I was talking about John O'Ware. You know, he was a colleague of mine, historian, great historian as well. And I mentioned about him, and he said something brushed by me, something brushed. And Jason sent a message on because I got off, and he said John was all, he was shook up. He really was shook up. It worried him. I always remember being in St. George's Hall giving this lecture. And I was talking about, I was in the criminal court. He said, will you do a lecture in the criminal court? I said, of course I will. So I gave this lecture. And it was about, they wanted me to do about like court cases that went right back, you know. Anyway, I was doing this. And I was talking about a certain person who was hanged for gruesome murders, and I was waiting for me mate, the actor Jake Abraham, who's no longer with us, you know. He passed a few months ago. Anyway, I was waiting for him and I was talking, and the audience was there, I was talking. And anyway, I started talking about this particular murderer. He did some gruesome murders. And all of a sudden, Jake comes in, caught him out the corner of the eye, and he comes in to be right, you know. But I'm still talking to the audience. And he sits, because there's a public gallery, but it was chocker, and he was just room at the back, right at the back, you know, just behind the gallery. And he sat down. So I'm talking away. You know, then I looks over at, you know, where he was, you know, just to give a thumbs up, you know. Because as I said, he was a bit late. And as I looked over at him for the second time, here's how he went. He was sitting there, you know, listening. And then he went, and then, you know, then he looked, then he went, and he looked behind him. And then I seen him jump again. You know, he just looked. Just like that, then it stopped. So at the end of the lectures, you know, lecture about these people being hanged, and some people, by the way, who were hanged, and they were innocent. They were hanged but innocent. Like George Kelly, for example. Anyway, I said to Jake, I said, what was you fidgeting about there for? He said, Frank, he said, when I was sitting there, he said, I felt someone behind me, and then like blew in the ear. I went, go away. He said, and I jumped. He said, I thought it was someone behind me hiding. I said, you couldn't see anyone behind. And he said, but it's happened 3 or 4 times to me. And that was the amount of time, because when you're looking like that and someone's there and they're fidgeting, you notice it. And he did look behind and he looked right around. And that's what he said. In the courtroom. It is haunted, by the way, St. George's Hall. Down in the basement. Or the bowels of it, as they call it. Huge place. Ian Max says, didn't he have a rugby union team as well, Paul? Liverpool St. Helens, yes. Their results would be in the Pink Echo sometimes. On a Saturday night, yeah. And remember the football team, South Liverpool as well. And Ian Max says, oh yeah. And Paul answers him. Ian Mack, yeah, they did. That's right. I think a well-known England player at the time, yeah, Mike Slemon from the 1980s. Yeah, Mike Slemon. He was a left winger. He had a number 11 on his back end. Was he a left winger? That's our winger, isn't it? But he had a number 11 on his back, playing for England, Mike Slemon. Very quick as well, as I recall. Thanks for the show, Frank. Good one tonight. Thank you, Ian. Thank you so much. Thank you. Amazing story about your dad, Frank, says Jay. Oh, yeah. Got eaten by a shark. And Paul Turner. Ian Mack, the rugby league team went a full season without a win in 1980 when they were called Highton. Ian Mack. Frank, remember the ghost walks you did around Halloween time? They were class. Then you took us down St. James's Cemetery and a few other places in Liverpool. Spot on. Thank you. Thank you. I had my bodyguards with me, didn't I? Thank you, Ian. Everton trophy room is haunted. Alright. It's haunted. Ah, that's shocking, that one. That's shocking. And the vlogs. Love that story, Frank. Been in St. George's Hall many times. I think you have to pay now to do the tour. Used to be free. Any other ghost stories or experience? Got loads. Got loads. I was frightened down there. Me, frightened. I was on I had the paranormal fella last night, and I said to him, I deliberately, sneaked a little comment to him, a little question. And I wanted to know myself, and I'll tell you for what. I said to him, Jamie, do you attract these spirits and things? And he said, yeah. And I went, oh, okay. And, then he went on about it. Because I deliberately asked him. Because I've had a few experiences myself. Remember when I went talking about Strasbourg, going through France? 2 incidents happened to me in France. two, not related, and both of them were frightening. And I mean, frightening. Might tell you one day. Don't like talking about them, especially one of them. The vlogs. I think a guy I know called Keith Braithwaite does them ghost walks now. Yeah. Liverpool, yeah. Yeah, Liverpool. The lads asked me to go. I said no. I did one for this, I was working at this, I was at this college, and one of the admin workers, lovely one, she said, Frank, would you do me a favour? My daughters and a friend, two lovely girls, by the way. She said, they're doing this coach tour, and they're going and they were going down to, around the, what was it called? It was a dock anyway. The tobacco warehouse. Used to be the Heritage Market. I couldn't think of the Heritage Market. And they said they're going in there. I'm going back a few years ago. And I said, can I think about it? Oh, no. Just let them know now. I've got to phone them because they've been asking me for weeks. And I never had the nerve to ask you. And when she said that, and I've got to answer them tonight, because they just cancel it otherwise, I said, yeah, okay. I'll do it for them. It's only when she said I've been, putting it off for weeks to ask you. I said, okay, I'll do it. Oh, and I did it. Tell you what I'll do with you. I've got this show tomorrow night, okay? And it won't be about sport. There's bound to be history thrown in it. But before I start on that, I'll tell you my experiences about the two that happened in France and what happened at St. George's Hall. I was given lectures there just before it shut down for the refurbishment. They asked me to do lectures on a Tuesday and a Thursday, all afternoons. I said, yeah, afternoons. And I did them. And if you want to find out what happened to me, before I want to do what I want to do, I'll let you into it. That's if you fancy it tomorrow, but it starts at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tomorrow week. And Jay says, Paul Turner, this is a quick question. They haven't got a trophy room. Even the kitchen only has mugs, no cups. He's talking about the vlogs. Was Watch and the American guy doing a reaction video learning about why we're Scouse, not English. And guess who popped up? Mr. Frankenstein, where Scouse came from, etc. So go away. Go away. Stay doing that, yeah. And I came on it. It just shows you, doesn't it? That was filmed in my house. That was it. Let alone to know that vlogs. As someone said, he said, you pop up all over the place, Frank. Don't watch the film Smile on your own, Frank. I watched it at the weekend. Oh, thanks, Paul. I'll have to go on one of them dating sites. See if I can get myself a woman. Do you still do lectures, Frank, or in particular at St George's Hall, says the blog? I do talks. I get hired to do talks, not there though. I was going to put my play on there. But Jake died, didn't he? A reflection of Dickens I was putting on there. On the concert room, St George's Hall, everything was at the cast, everything. And it was going out on the 28th of June. And COVID hit. And Boris Johnson made us go on lockdown. That was the end of the play. But I do, as I said, I get hired to do lectures. Not lectures, to give talks. I call them talks. Like next week, I'll be talking about great philanthropists. This is next Monday, over in Wallasey. Great philanthropists and great heroes, only what's going on today. And I'm talking about local philanthropists and local heroes. Some heroes that incredible people. So brave what they did. Go film that smile. Well, I won't be watching it. And Smile 2 looks even better, says Paul Turner. Fine. Well, anyway, don't forget me TV and film and TV review Saturday. I'll tell you what I was watching the other night, and it was on YouTube. You know, The New Omen. And I went, turns it off. Our Francine said, Dad, it's good, It's good. So, people, thank you so much. Paul Turner. Casper may be okay for you, Frank. My ex, when we split up, I had to go up and see her after a few months, sort things up. And she had this little dog, with them, the little beards, all white. And it was a friendly little thing, barked at me like, friendly. And that was named Casper. I think I'll be dead now. Anyway, it's just for me to say, that's strange that Casper, how coincidental is that? Casper and Bambi. Casper, as I just said, is the ex dog she got in, after we split. And Bambi is my nickname for Francie, because I used to call her Bambina, and she's a baby. Mi Paco Bambina, and I just went Bambi. Strange. How strange is that? Coincidental. I saw it advertised last month. That's what it's about. Smile 2 is about. Good night, Frank. Sleep well and take care. Thank you, Paul. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you on Thursday for the football show. And hopefully we'll be smiling on Saturday morning, 10:30, with the film and TV review. in football. Thanks, Frank. Good night, everyone. Lovely, thank you, vlogs. See you tomorrow, Frank. Take care, says Paul Turner. Thank you, Paul. Tomorrow night, Frank, says the vlogs. Just thank you, everyone, and thanks for keeping JK and myself. And great comments, by the way. Really great. Thank you so much. And I'll speak to you as well tomorrow night, Thursday night, Saturday morning. Thank you. Thanks to Jason for setting everything up. Thank you. Bye now.